Make room for Javi.
Well, let's continue the cleanup today. Welcome to my Project a Day video, where I explain a project or tell a story each day for a year, and I attempt to complete my shop. This is day 53 of 365. So getting back to Larry, what did Larry spend the money on? Well, that's quite an interesting story. I was hanging out riding along in his golf cart throughout this whole so-called deal, so here's how I remember it. One day the freak show tent comes in to set up, and Larry gets a brainstorm. About the same time, one of the carnies in the back was complaining to Larry that he wishes he had another mode of transportation other than a moped, because gas was just too expensive. Larry said he'd take care of it for him. Now let's get all these boxes out of the way. They have barely anything in them. Let's see if we can clear them all out. Larry tells me, I've got this great idea for the freak show, and proceeds to lead us to the back lot where someone left an old bike and old dog kennel in pieces. He motions to one of Santa's employees to come over and fix his bike as well as the kennel. The next day, he offers the bike in trade for the moped to that other carny. He then proceeds to trade the moped to a somewhat interesting character for a Louisiana river rat. Now, for those of you unaware, a Louisiana river rat is just that, a rat. However, its size is comparable to that of a medium-sized dog. This thing was huge. Now, he kept it safe and well-fed in the kennel for a few days behind his trailer, feeding it lettuce and other carnival scraps. He proceeded to sell it to the freak show owner for $500, billed as the world's largest rat. While the story would normally end here, Larry's trading up had no end. He used the $500 to buy an old trailer, and I knew that if I ever needed anything, I could always give Larry a call. On the other hand, I knew him well enough that the deal was never as good as presented to me by Larry. And that leads us to a number of years later. It's 2016, and my family and I had reserved at Amelia Island State Park to share some good times with my cousins and enjoy the RV life for a week. I've camped, I've hiked, and I've pitched tents. I've rented cabins and RVs in the past, so I knew the drill. But to own our own RV was something else. I made a call. Hey Larry, I'm looking for a nice, cheap RV. Possibly real cheap if it's something I could fix up myself. Sure enough, he knew of one. He said it was in rough condition, somewhat gutted, but the structure was good and the slide-out worked. $2,000. All I've got is about $1,000 in that old golf cart I used to use at Santa's with dead batteries that's probably not worth $500. He said it's a deal if I could pick it up from Central Florida. So I hitched up the truck, picked up the trailer. Here are some photos of the trailer when I first bought it. Long story short, I put about $2,000 into rebuilding it. It gave my family years of enjoyment on various vacations. My family liked camping, and we enjoyed saving thousands on every trip, sleeping in our own clean beds instead of random germ-filled hotel rooms. And 3 years later, the trailer became my temporary home as I built my house. In the last year of building the house, my family moved up and we bought a new RV for my wife and I to use in the long run and stay in temporarily, and my mother-in-law stayed in the old RV. My brother now owns it as his job site office when he has to travel to his construction sites. We got an awful lot of enjoyment out of that RV, and it all started with a rat. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment. I enjoy reading them, particularly when they're pleasant. Please subscribe, and as always, have a great day.
Make room for Javi.